Hello everyone, welcome to Bishopwearmouth Cemetery again. I'm just stood at the Commonwealth Grave Commission section of the cemetery. As you can see, all these graves for men who fell in the Great War, World War II, and also some much later wars. As you can see, they're all well maintained by volunteers, and I think there's volunteers who do it as well as people who were employed by the Commonwealth Grave Commission. I think there's something like about 400 Commonwealth graves at Bishopwearmouth Cemetery. There's 250 something from the Great War and about another 157 from World War II. But there are about 100 other burials which are around the cemetery where people were buried in just normal sort of plots who died during the war. Apparently there's one Dutch soldier I've never seen that particular grave. Randomly there's the grave of Martini McCormack, the lion hunter, who died January the 11th, 1871, aged 32 years. This stone is erected by Mr. William Manders, proprietor of the Grand National Star Menagerie, as a tribute of regard for an old and faithful servant. So possibly this area was a common ground originally, then it was set aside. But in this particular spot is where George Bigall was buried, who I just recently did the video about. Also randomly there's this one for William Fox, master mariner, who died February the 18th, 1871, aged 62 years. Blessed are the dead which die in the Lord. Also Mary Jane Fox, daughter of the above. She was 19, died 1853, and was interred in Sunderland churchyard. That's down the old East End. That's sort of between two of these Commonwealth Grey ones, and if you look at the detail on some of these, they look ornate, they look simple. Look at that. O.F.H. Gilbert, 2nd Engineer Officer, SS. Pitt Wines, 8th of November 1940, age 22. And all of them have like a symbol of like the regiment or who they were thought of. There's that Royal Artillery. Beautiful engraving. Must be there. As they all have the rank, the name, the regiment, the date of death. They don't have the first names, but it must be the rank, not rank, serial number I should say. But if you walk around the cemetery, you'll find lots of other spots where names of those who died in the war are listed, but some of them aren't actually buried there, just family have added them to remember lost ones. And able seaman, Royal Navy, R.W. Smith, HMS Rosemary, 25th of April 1843, aged 20. I can see Pioneer Corps, Royal Engineers, Green Howards, the Manchester Regiment, Royal Artillery, Royal Army Service Corps, Seamen, Northumberland Fusiliers, Yorkshire Regiment, Royal Naval Patrol Service, Royal Irish Regiment, West Yorkshire Regiment, Tyneside Scottish, Notts and Derby Regiment, and then there's another one. This one is more of a personal one. This one's actually done by Edward Smith, a well-known Sunderland mason, mosaicist. It's a beautiful stone, look at that, slate. To the memory of George Cunningham, who died November 13th, 1918, aged 20 years. Also William Barwick, Thomas Clark, Matthew Henderson, John Nesbitt and John Scrother, all of whom gave their lives in the Great War 1914 and 19. And that was erected by employers and workmen of South Hilton Engine Works in honour of the above comrades. So they must have all chipped in to remember this. It's in excellent condition. And he did quality work, did Smith. This is another one of the work of Edwin Smith. He used that sort of feature on a lot of headstones. It's a fine monument cross to the honoured memory of 400 sailors and soldiers who gave their lives for their country during the Great War 1914 and 1918, 230 of whom lie in this cemetery, 75 in Sunderland Cemetery and 95 in Mere Knowles Cemetery, all in the borough of Sunderland. Name liveth for. I'm going to do a few videos, name liveth forevermore I should say. I'm going to do a few more Great War themed videos over the next couple of weeks as we're getting close to Remembrance Sunday and so on, but I know there's lots of stuff goes on in the city centre to remember the Great War and the other conflicts, but I think sometimes this gets forgotten about a little bit, but it is. And sometimes on Remembrance Sunday you will find people will come here and pay their respects. I've witnessed before. Just have a silent memory for people who are probably grandfathers and probably more now great grandfathers after the time that's gone since the war, but I'll just show you a few and look at that. That's R. Reveley, Machine Gun Corps Infantry, 10th of November 1918, age 32. Loved in life, not forgotten in death. See some names. That's Freiburg, John and York and Lancaster Regiment, 1st of December 1918. I think from memory, he might have been, his father might have been Danish, I remember, I do recognise the name. To be honest, I haven't done a great deal of stories on the men buried in this section. I have done a few Great War stories and World War II on people who were buried around in other parts of the cemetery. So there's M. Hall, a trimmer, Royal Navy Reserve, HMS Pembroke, 21st of September 1918. I don't know, coal trimmers when they were on land were the ones who used to sort of spread the coal in the hold of ships, push it into the corner so you get as much in. Quite a lot of roses planted around. Lots of Durham Light Infantry and Northumberland Fusiliers, local regiments, but in those days people got signed up all over the country. I've never understood why some are white and some are dark unless they've just faded away. Look at that. Look at that. J. Venus, Navigator, Royal Air Force, 17th of December 1944, aged 21. Sorry. He gave his today that we may have our tomorrow. Tomorrow's fine words are. I'll just leave you with one last shot of this section. It's easy to find, you can't miss it. It's just close to the central chapel, and a fitting tribute to all these men. So thank you very much for watching. Thanks.